Hey everybody, Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing. I'm here to tell you how to clean your floor mat, to really give it a deep clean, to sanitize it, deliver amazing results for your customers, or if you're a do-it-yourselfer, how do you clean your own damn floor mat? These things get so dirty, especially in the winter. I'm excited to show you how I do it. Just go back and forth. Again, Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing. Here's some of the toys we're going to use to really dial this floor mat in. If you could, there's a little Hawk logo there in the corner. Give it a like and a subscribe. Help this channel out. I'm just one guy trying to tell you what I've learned in the trenches of auto detailing. Let's dial these floor mats in and let's get started. I've got my VX5000 steamer here. Releasing a little bit of pressure there. Usually I'll just throw in water. Distilled water is usually best. But what I found with the rinseless washes is they really help you get wetter steam. So if you have Optimum No Rinse, or in this case, American Detailer Garage, it really helps you deliver wetter steam. And with floor mats, you really, I think, want wetter steam. So you can kind of see this. I'll probably do about a ½ ounce of Wipeout. This is really good product. I don't need to overdo it. And I'll just put this ½ ounce of Wipeout into my steamer first. Now we're just going to put some water in there. The chemists say that these Optimum No Rinse and Wipeout is really good for the boiler in your steamer. All I know is that it does deliver wetter steam. And it's wintertime, so we don't have access to a pressure washer. A pressure washer does a great job. It's usually a lot faster when it comes to floor mats. It's usually faster, but steam is in a league of its own. I mean, it helps you get into the nooks and crannies of the floor mat, and I think if you have the time to do this setup where you get your steamer all ready to go, you're able to get the steam pretty wet, that it can deliver amazing results. Nice and tight, good to go. So all you really need to do to get your VX5000 going is just press this button. You can see that yellow light turns on. This is an old sticker. I should remove that. That looks really nasty. I apologize, you guys. This is the real world. I'm the shoemaker whose kid has no shoes, right? I deliver for my customers, but sometimes behind the scenes it doesn't always look super pretty. So this light goes on. For this to get to about 3 or 4, which is where I want it to get this thing blowing out amazing steam, can take about 15 minutes. So we're gonna wait 15 minutes for the steamer to heat up, and then we'll be right back. So if you're mobile and you wanna clean your floor mat in the real world, there are a couple of options. You could just ignore all my advice, but I wanna give you a couple options. You can either get this workbench from Lowe's, and I've got this workbench from Lowe's. It's obviously got a melted clay bar on there. It's seen better days. I should probably hit this with a pressure washer, but I just want to show you, this folds up, goes in the bed of my truck, and it doesn't make me have to bend over as much, right? I can kind of hit it with steam right here, so that's a good option. Or, if you don't have that option, on Amazon, very cheap, you can get basically a rubber floor mat like this. It just looks good for your customers. This is like an exercise mat. I think it was 20 bucks for a pack of 5 or 6. But if you've got something to put either a carpet or a rubber floor mat on, it just shows your customers that you care. They always seem really impressed when they see their floor mats on here and not on their dirty garage floor. Now it's time to talk about how we mix up this secret sauce. Listen, you could use a degreaser straight if you had a really nasty floor mat. But I found that the combination of this method with steam, with some agitation, will deliver the results that you really want and need. So, I've got my handy measuring cup still sitting around here. what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my American Detailer Garage Wipeout, which is your rinseless wash. I'm just going to give it a little... You got to be careful with this stuff because it's not cheap. But you want 2 ounces of Wipeout. Ever so carefully, don't spill it. We lost a little bit of Wipeout there. It's never good. I know there are better ways to mix your chemicals, and so forgive me for that. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm such a dork, but this is fun. I love it, and I can't claim that I know everything. I've learned this this secret sauce is from Aaron Knox at Red's Detail in Atlanta. And then you want 3 of these. You want 3 scoops of American Detailer Garage F-Bomb. This is a multi-purpose cleaner. Guys use this to, suds come up, guys use this to foam cannon their cars. They use it for interior cleaning. I love F-Bomb. These products are not the cheapest, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. Are you the quality guy or are you the fly-by-night guy? And I hear a lot of guys are using these products and making a lot of money, whether you're volume or boutique. So I love what Billy's all about at American Detailer Garage. And Wipeout is fantastic for windows. F-Bomb is a great all-purpose cleaner on interiors. So that's your foundation. We have 3 ounces of F-Bomb, 2 ounces of Wipeout. And now we're just going to put the rest in as water there. Oops. Move this just out of the way a little bit. Okay. Just going to pour the water in there. Again, ideally you're using distilled water. And there you have it. There's my mix. You see how purple that is? This is an old bottle that I cleaned out. Don't worry about it. But 32-ounce bottle, 2 ounces of Wipeout, 3 ounces of F-Bomb. It's got kind of a... I'm trying to come up with a smell. I don't know if it's grape or what, but test the sprayer. The sprayer's working. We should be good to go. By the way, I just checked the steamer. It's almost where we want it to be. So it's good to use your time wisely. Let's slap this floor mat over here. All right. So what I first like to do is look for any possible road salt, right? And that's where Whip's road salt remover comes in. I may just pre-treat some of that there. It's great at removing road salt. We know it's on the roads here in places like Utah. Here's where I'm freestyling. I could be wrong. You don't need Whips for floor mats, but I used to try that first. And here's my Bizzle mix, as Aaron Knox calls it. We've got 3 ounces of F-Bomb, which is doing some of the heavy cleaning. We've got Wipeout in there. And folks, I'm telling you, part of floor mat cleaning is you want it to be perfect and black at the end. Well, guess what? I used to try that, okay? I used to use Meguiar's Hyper Dressing, and the floor mats would look perfect in photos for advertising. And then I had customers say, hey Nick, I have bad knees. Like, I'm slipping in and out of my floor mats. Can you not make them so shiny and greasy? And I realized this was not the answer. Guys may disagree with me, but there's something about this mixture that when you clean a floor mat, it's going to have that faded look, and you're going to want it to look better. But every time you try to make it look better, you're dealing with the possibility of getting them slippery. This gives it just enough sheen without being slippery that I think it delivers perfectly satisfactory results for your customers. Again, this is a floor mat, okay? This is not, the paint of a Lamborghini. You could go a couple of directions here. Sometimes it's really fun to just because F-Bomb is a continuous cleaner and it foams up, I just kind of like to do this. I don't know if it's just psychological. I'm not trying to waste time. I know time is money. So you could just get it all foamed up if you like the look of that. Or you could just get more aggressive with it right away and just hit it with a brush. Let's start scrubbing. Let's start getting it going. Let's start breaking up everything that, you know, was in and on top of this floor mat. Okay? So this is not going to be the first time this floor mat gets chemicals on it, but this is a good start. So we're waiting for the steam to really be perfectly ready to go. Like I said, I like to be real liberal with this stuff, just because I can. So you could scrub this again and enjoy the foam coming up, that sort of visceral sense that you're accomplishing something. You know, normally I'd probably hit it with steam first, but since we're still waiting for the steamer to power up, I want to tell you guys about the magic eraser, okay? You usually want a clean one if you're doing windows, and I have a separate video about that, but a used one is fine for a floor mat. And what I find with a magic eraser, and we haven't done that first pass, so there's still so much dirt and grime on here that this probably isn't the best first step, but you can see all the dirt that's pulling up. Sometimes I find that, like, when a floor mat dries, you'll see like little lines of brown in here. And so what's great about the magic eraser is it can do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So if you're ever curious, like, why aren't my floor mats coming out well? Try a magic eraser. You don't need to be too aggressive. You just want to get it in those little nooks and crannies. Like I said, I probably would have hit it with steam first, but I'm still waiting for that steam to be ready. So you can see this is still dirty. Let's hit it with steam and watch what happens. If you feel like you're not getting enough oomph, one option is to come over to your steamer, the VX5000, and you can press this third button. And it has a little faded raindrops there because I've used this machine quite a bit. But what that does is it essentially turns your machine almost into like hose mode, so you're going to get a lot more moisture. So if I'm really trying to get more moisture involved in here, I may use that mode. So again, I'm in here, I'm just agitating some of this. I want all the surfaces to be covered in soap. And you notice how the soap that's foaming up now is far less brown. It's almost like cleaning tires, where if it's dirty enough, you have to keep coming back to it. You can see how grimy my magic eraser is, but I may take a clean spot and just dab at it in spots. You know, and again, part of this is like standard operating procedure. Part of it is sort of freestyling in the moment. Like, what is the floor mat telling you? How's it looking? What's not coming off? Now, we are going to use the VX5000 with that third option on and check out all this moisture. Alright, we'll let the steamer die down a little bit. I still see, I don't know if you can see that little white spot of gunk. That may or may not be anything. Let's give it one more pass. So the PSI and the steam that comes out is amazing. Because we've added our wipeout in there, we've given it a little bit of extra wetness. So you're almost feeling like you've got like the supercharged hose. At this point, I always like to dry it down, see what we're looking at. So let's take a look at what the floor mat's telling us as we dry it off here. It's looking pretty good, but I would always caution you, wait till the floor mat dries until you truly know what it looks like. A dry rubber floor mat is going to look far different than a wet one. The wet ones always look perfect, and when it dries, then you're really going to know what it is that you're dealing with. You guys might think I'm crazy, but here we are with this mix again. What's great about this mix is it does leave your surfaces a lot more dark, I guess, is the best way to put it. That's the worst English ever. But it leaves your surfaces darker, especially vinyl and plastics. So I finally put my last layer of Bizzle, right? 3 ounces American Detailer Garage, F-Bomb, 2 ounces of Wipeout. And I just want to foam it up one last time. And what I'm doing here is just sort of an even application, because I know that at 2 ounces of Wipeout in a 32 ounce bottle, like that's hyper concentrated. Usually for rinseless washing, you would do 1 ounce of Wipeout in 2 gallons, right? So 2 ounces of Wipeout in 32 ounces bottle is way more Wipeout. And that's kind of like where we're trying to get our shine from, and also our clean. But this time I'm not going to steam it off. This time I'm going to let it sit there for a second. In the meantime, I'm going to fire up my air compressor so we can simply wipe this off, blow it out with an air compressor, and walk away. All right, we've got my California Air Tools air compressor working well. My nice messy hose line over here. But this has been sitting for about a minute or so. So I just want to gently wipe it down. And what I'm doing here is I'm wiping that formula in, right? Because it's gonna help us leave some shine. We don't wanna necessarily clean this away. We just kinda wanna mat it down, help it give it that extra black look without too much shine. And then what we're gonna do is hit it with the air compressor to blow out all these soap spots. Alright, there you go. It's still drying as we speak, so I may try to come through with a few more passes. I want to shut off the air compressor really quickly and then chat with you. Alright everybody, so let's take a look. What do you think about this? I'm pretty satisfied with this as a final result. You know, it's not going to look beautiful and black and shiny, but it's got a matte finish. I'm going to get you in closer there. It's clean, and in the light you can see, yeah, some areas are a little faded. I mean, this is what happens. It's a floor mat. People step on these. That's what happens. We don't need this to be out of this world shiny. We do not need to use hyper dressing. I used this for a while, and I was showing off on all the forums about how my floor mats looked amazing. My customers didn't love it, okay? You want to make your customers happy, not fellow detailers happy. And folks, if you want to just use an all-purpose cleaner or a degreaser, this method works fine too on your own car. But I love the Bizzle mix. It has just a little bit of finish to it. It's a nice matte color. And this, I truly think, is a way to dial in floor mats. Let me know your tools and techniques. I used to use Meguiar's Hyperdressing. I used to use Stoner Trim Shine, which I think is a great product and has a place. But when it comes to floor mats, no slip, great look. This is what I found that's worked. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and hey, if you want to like and subscribe, it would sure be appreciated. Hawk Pro Detailing, Heber City, Utah. Have a great day, and hopefully we can continue the conversation.